This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Brown. It's great to have you with us. A top tourism official is expressing optimism about Grand Bahama's future. Tonight he outlines what needs to happen to ensure healthy growth going forward. According to statistics, Grand Bahama welcomed some 839,490 visitors in 2012. While that figure increased from 2011, Tourism's Director General David Johnson says in previous years, Grand Bahama has recorded well over the 1 million visitor mark, and he's optimistic that the local economy is on the verge of a turnaround.
I'm projecting that Grand Bahama will lead growth in the Bahamas in 2014, lead growth, because it will rebound. And we're working very, very hard. And we need Grand Bahamians to work very hard to deliver the type of service and to offer even more options to visitors, because we have to earn our business every day.
Exit surveys have shown that some visitors to Grand Bahama complained that there isn't enough fun activities on the island. But Johnson doesn't believe that is the problem. He says Grand Bahama needs to focus on niche marketing.
In Grand Bahama, we have a lot of things to do. The problem we have is we have not focused on defining what it is that Grand Bahama is known for. So we have to focus on a few key activities or attractions that we can offer and say we are the best at this. If you want to do this, you want to go to Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama is to be synonymous with some things. We cannot be known for a little of everything, and that's what we're striving to do. For instance, Grand Bahama can be synonymous with the best golf destination in the Caribbean. Own it.
According to Johnson, Grand Bahama has another unique quality that can be used to rebrand the destination.
Grand Bahama also has the only destination in the country where you get the experience that you can get in Nassau, but you also get the same experience you're getting in Abaco or in Bimini, because Grand Bahama delivers an out-island experience, but also in an established community like the Freeport area. So we have not really defined that and promoted that sufficiently. We haven't delivered that as easily as we could.
A special poll will be held tomorrow to determine who will be the bargaining agent for workers at the Grand Lucayan Resort. The employees are currently represented by the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union. And according to reports, the majority of the 300-plus union members have expressed dissatisfaction with that organization. President of the Hotel Union, Nicole Martin, says this is the second time the Commonwealth Union has made an attempt to have a special poll. Martin contends that her administration was never given a fair opportunity to represent the workers at the Grand Lucayan.
We understand why we're back at it and why we're not given an opportunity to have a contract created, signed, registered here as we would have been able to do in some other places. We signed contracts with Poop Deck. We signed contracts with the Club Med in San Salvador. We signed contracts with KFC. Why is it we can't get around the table here? Because this company is doing whatever they have to do to get any union.
Martin says she's concerned about the infighting among unions, and she believes the workers are caught in the middle of an unfortunate situation.
I would have reached out to the president of the Commonwealth Union and to Mr. Ferguson, who advised me that he is the lawyer for that union. And I said to them that unions shouldn't be attacking each other. We should actually be sitting together to figure out what is in the best interest for this group of persons.
The poll is set for tomorrow at the Convention Center of the Grand Lucayan Resort from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Commonwealth Union didn't offer an official comment on tomorrow's poll. The government has introduced a landmark initiative on Grand Bahama designed to reduce the level of poverty and address the substandard living conditions. Tonight, many are calling this historic urban renewal project Operation Restoration. Joan Davis-Rowe reports.
Feeling great. You're going to cause me to cry now. The government, through an act of parliament and its internationally acclaimed urban renewal program, bringing joy, jubilation, and most of all relief to a cross-sector of the Grand Bahama community in dire need of help. The historic small home repair initiative, introduced just weeks ago on Grand Bahama, has taken off and is said to be transforming the lives of many, one community at a time. Residents in an area known as back of town with horror stories of years of decay is today commending the government for this project, which has resulted in their homes moving from dilapidation to restoration.
I had a leak all in the kitchen area, like the ceiling was coming down and the rain was coming in through the cabinets, and it was like flooded in the kitchen. I had to sweep it when it rained. But now it's been done by the urban renewal team, in which I give God thanks for it. I'm excited because I have help from Ms. Reckley and the urban renewal team for fixing my roof, which I really did need help for fixing it. She gone beyond and beyond. She even hired my son, a part of the program, and 3 other gentlemen from in the back here.
I had to go through a lot because it was leaking, rain was coming in, then we were getting sick because I was sick with the flu and the cold for 4 months. I couldn't get over the cold because of the mildew and everything, and this is it.
Yeah, but sometimes it leaks and, and you have a little water running and beating through the wind and all like that, but, we couldn't do no better, but now I think there's a little help going on.
How do you feel that not only you have been helped, but so many other your neighbors?
I'm proud of that, because from here, from West End to High Rock, or wherever, how far they're going, I think everybody is glad and proud. I think so.
Have you ever seen any project like this before?
This is the first time, I tell you, from 1967.
The Urban Renewal Small Home Repair Project is not only providing jobs for over 100 local contractors, but others who have contributed to this island's high unemployment rate. Just ask Edwin Strawn.
Oh yeah, that's why I really love it, Or they hire me right on the team, and I still in my community working, helping the elderly, like, the lady crossed the road, another elderly lady. So, it's a good thing, because I feel good. Everybody excited just to see me working, so.
According to Deputy Director of Urban Renewal on Grand Bahama, Michelle Reckley, this housing repair project is indicative of Urban's overall mandate.
Because of the assessments, our center managers and employees saw the dire need and strengths that people were faced with, the challenges of their homes, going from hurricane to hurricane with absolutely no assistance, no help. And Joan, if you were to venture in, you can see what these people was living with, dragging tubs, buckets, everything possible to try and keep their homes dry, and still no help. But today we have stepped in.
Reckley says while millions of dollars have been allocated, Urban Renewal is determined to increase that number in efforts to reach the masses at their point of need.
We are working on our old budget, but if you heard the budget debate so far, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, in his wisdom, because he has a heart for the people, for the small man, the common man, he has allocated $10 million for small home repairs. And Joan, even with that allocation, hopefully later he might have to add some more, because if you do not see it, you do not know. And looking on the outside of these homes, and these are not tents or shacks, these are homes that people are still paying mortgage for. These are homes that people work hard to get, but because of the economy dying, unable to maintain their homes.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Joan. The Constitutional Commission making another trip to Grand Bahama this weekend. As Natalie Martinborough tells us, residents turned out to give their views on constitutional reform.
Grand Bahama was the final stop for the Constitutional Commission. Members wrapped up the whirlwind tour of the islands on Friday night at the Mary Starr Sea Auditorium, seeking input from Bahamians on possible changes to the Constitution.
What is it that you're concerned about in Grand Bahama, that you want, that may be an issue that concerns the Constitution? I really want you to think. This is an exercise in thinking and participating.
It's an invitation that residents readily accepted.
Before granted citizenship, they must know our story. They must know our national anthem, our pledge. They must speak the English language.
I've performed over 7,000 weddings, and I refuse to participate in any form of marriage of convenience. As far as I'm concerned, that's trifling with your national security. No man should have no right to come in this country to marry one of my Bahamian sisters and have a say into who is to become the government of my country because we're going to grant him citizenship? Excuse my French. Hell no. And you heard that from Bishop Reno Smith.
God does not tell us who to love. God does not tell us which sex we are. We need to be very careful, and we need to offer protections to everyone in our society. That's what the Constitution should be.
There was a call to legalize all forms of gaming as well as marijuana for medical use.
I know that our Constitution says that the state is not allowed to discriminate in any other form except gaming, which I think is ridiculous, which I think is stagnant, and which I think is very, very regressive. In the year 2012, the state of Colorado moved forward with the legalization of marijuana. So did the state of Washington. That is the direction the world is headed. That is the direction we should head. I believe that it can be used for medical purposes.
I listened to the young man, and I'm almost inclined now to agree with the government on the Senate age.
There were several recommendations regarding the political system and environmental protection as well.
It seems that it would be reasonable to let those boundaries be reviewed by an independent commission and not necessarily changed.
We have a changing global environment, and to whatever extent that the Constitutional Commission can envision a forward-thinking portion of some sort of law that will give us the power to protect ourselves from what is happening external to us, it's important.
Commission member Carla Brown-Roker was happy with the level of participation.
We've shared our ideas. You've spoken, you've voiced your opinion. Others have done the same. You may not agree with everything that every speaker said at that podium. However, they had a right. They had their say.
Natalie Martin-Burrows, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. There's more news after the break.